now you wanna talk. Honestly, I think we're past the talking.
That's it for real.
Yeah. Just need you to listen. Put me in position where my heart's missing. Lost the feeling, find hatred and healing. Think we get there again? I don't think so. Love's in the rear view, plus the years spent with you. Wish I could undo all I did with you. Done for you, now I'm done with you. Used to be lovable, now it's personal. Can't stand your voice, what you mean, can we talk? In my mind, see you laying down in some chalk. Tired of the cursing, speaking in third person. Same thing we playing over like we rehearsing. Here's final curtain, finally changed my demeanor.
Can we talk for a minute?
Girl, I wanna
know your name.
Don't get emotional. We're back!
Woo-wee.
Guess who came in the building?
I'm back.
Tell the people why you back.
They missed me. I'm back.
They miss you?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, there's some rumors like that I be riffing in the back.
Yeah. They said we were fighting.
Why would we be fighting?
I guess, I don't know, something about the show, our last podcast, and blah, blah, blah. I just let people think whatever they want to think. They don't know.
Nah, you gotta clear something up. Listen, people. First thing first. Me and Sandy's family. We knew each other for over 20-something years.
I think.
Like when we did the Fat Joe concert, she actually took me and Fliz. Most of the shows she was right there. The model joint we was at. We go back then that's when everybody was out.
Yep.
Fed Hill. Who Them. Everybody was in their prime. So shout out all the names we just said and plus more. But nah, what it is, Sandy basically which we could translate into that. You got other things popping off.
Ooh, I do. I got Lovers and Friends coming out here. Something different we throwing at y'all. It's like a my selfie experience, you know. So come through. You might catch me in some lingerie. Brody's Angels, my new thing right now. So come check out my Angels. We're gonna be out popping, having a good time. Get at me for some tickets. You know how to reach me. If you don't, come find me. Flygurl Sandy Flygurl, somewhere.
What should they expect? What's going on for that day?
DJ Franchise, DJ Matic is gonna be in the building. It's gonna be a little fun night. We're just gonna have some fun, and then the after party's gonna be probably at JL's in North Providence.
Wow, you having an after party too? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because this thing is only from like 6 to 11.
Right.
And then after this, we're gonna go to JL's.
Right.
Yep. So make sure you come through, check us out. You know. I can't wait to see everyone. It's been a long time since I've been out partying with y'all.
Tell them how they can reach.
I just told them. Flygurl Sandy Flygurl. I'm not giving no numbers.
I ain't say you got some numbers yourself. I can reach out like Instagram.
Oh yeah, well I can give.
Facebook.
They can just Google me and find me and just send me a message.
Oh, you that important?
No.
You just say Google me.
Google me.
You know what happened when you Google my name, right?
No.
A whole bunch of things show up. Albums, podcasts, all kinds of stuff.
Okay, well they can message me on one of those things. Yup, there you go.
Well, she having an event. Shout out Miss Rhodey. They doing their wonderful thing. If you didn't see the flyer, when I seen the flyer, first thing I was just like, Sandy, I can't believe you took that picture.
I love my picture. And great minds think alike. Yes. And hold on.
I ain't say it was a bad picture. I was just like,
I'm gonna show them the picture real quick while we chit chat. Real quick. Ooh.
Actually,
and I'll also
Charles
be
can
at
show the
Hallows.
picture.
I'll also be at Hallows on Thursday night. I can't say every Thursday night, but I'll definitely try to be there as much as I can be there. And that's about it. That's going on right now.
All right. So listen, same show, same things going on. Look at this chick, man. Yo. Sandy. Gotta love her though. Gotta love her. Listen.
She's back.
So Sandy.
Yeah.
Other than that, what you have been doing?
Working, mommy, and that's about it.
That's about it?
Yeah.
What else you did last week? What you do for me?
Oh, I did a video shoot. Did a couple projects actually last week,
Oh yeah, that's right, you did.
Yeah,
well, first thing first, people, this is what we did. Swan, Naughty, and Muffin, they coming out with this movie for a festival, and basically it's I don't want to get the name messed up, but It's called like apple sauce, elbow, something else. My bad, but they got it was a doc where there's a bunch of people who was talking about the creative sides of their creativity of their music or whatever they're into. So it's a host of different people and they making it into a movie. Sandy, I was trying to get her in there, but I ain't dressed.
You know me, I ain't getting in nothing.
But I got a surprise in there. See, I share the wealth. What happened is, I was on the phone with an artist. We was talking, and when I got that phone call, like, yo, I need you in 6 hours to do this. I knew how I could call you, saying I need you real quick. The artist I was talking to, shout out Lakeisha, she came, and we got it popping. And
you did a quick video.
Yo, they loved it. They called me.
Good job.
We listened to them watch it, and then they called me again and said, yo, you was dropping some gems. So again, a lot of people was on that. I let them speak more on that one. But then we did the video for my song Can We Talk off the Martyr album. How was that?
Oh, I had so much fun. Thank you very much for putting me on to this video shoot. It's been a long time, but I had a lot of fun. It's a really cool concept because you can take this video in a lot of different ways.
A lot of different perspectives.
Perspectives, good word. Perceptions, yes. Questions, yes.
Nah, what it is, if you think about Usher and R. Kelly's Same Girl video, it's a play off of that because you can look at it as Sandy played both female parts, so you could play it as a twin. She wanted to sit up there and say, one's my sugar daddy, one's my boyfriend.
Yeah.
And when you see the concept of the video, when you see the video put together, we was on a tennis court because I said some slick lines in there, said no more back and forth, Venus and Serena, and we had people in the background playing tennis, so read between the lines. So
see, I remember. I pay attention.
So that's we had fun with that video shoot, but you know what? Enough with the promotion. Let's get into what we do.
Yeah.
We don't get emotional. She might not be here all the time, but whenever I can get in here, and I kept telling y'all, Sandy will come anytime I can get in here.
Yes. Don't worry, people. I get here when I can. I'm busy. Sorry. Life moves on.
I got a great topic. See, I like to just come off the fly. This is the first episode of 2023.
Yep.
What do you think some goals people should have for this year? Like, what some things people should try to accomplish for their life?
Financial goal. Right?
This is your thing. What do you think they should accomplish?
Right
like, what goals? Yeah, what are you talking about?
Okay.
You're nervous? You scared?
No, I'm just thinking. No, cut it out. I'm just thinking in my head, like, all right, 3 things for this year: financial goals, health goals. Let's see. Just life, having fun, putting fun back into life.
Explain that. How do you do that?
How do I do that?
Yes.
Follow me on Facebook. You'll see it every day.
Sandy.
Okay, yeah.
You gotta be serious. Okay, when you give people advice, or when you're talking to a mic, you can't just say, "Here." You gotta explain to them. Like,
I know that.
How do you
accomplish? Broad audience. Yes.
How do you accomplish such goals?
All right.
See, I'm giving you the floor because I'm they heard me. They heard me. You know what I mean? You know I can talk. I can get it on. So I want them to hear you.
Okay, so they can hear me. All right. So first things first is financial.
I'm Papa Freak or the Honey Bun.
And then you want me to talk, and then you sit here acting funny.
Hey, my people know that.
Anyway, so like I was saying, like financial freedom, in a sense. You know what I mean? Like being able to understand what mistakes you made in the past when it comes to your finance and monies and spending and habits and all that, and changing that up a little bit so that way you can have a little bit extra and put it into different things. Back in the day, I would blow hundreds in a club. Now I don't really go out no more, so those hundreds go back in my pockets. But sometimes it goes to bills too.
Nice, see?
Is that? Did I throw it down?
2 dumps.
Yeah. All right, that's first one. What did I say? I did my second one. My second one was health. Trying to stay healthy, fitness, watching what I eat, seeing what's going on. You know, this world right now is feeding us bullshit, so be careful out here what you're eating, what you're putting into your body. Clean body, clean mind. Remember that. All right.
Clean body, clean mind.
Yeah.
So you don't got no tips on that?
I got a lot of tips. I'm gonna have to put it on my Stan page. Sandy Flygurl for some tips. Yes.
All right.
Well, tip of the day. Let me see. Tip of the day. Get at least 30 minutes of cardio every day. And if 30 minutes of cardio every day, I think that's good enough. If you can do that, you're good. There's a lot of ways to do 30 minutes. Okay. All right. So now, what was my third one?
I don't know.
I remember.
Just come with freestyle.
Freestyle it. All right, so finance.
You've been around enough rappers to know how to freestyle.
I know. Okay, so my third one, I would say fun. That's what it was, fun. So, putting fun back into my life. So, those who know me know that I was just like, at a standstill. So now, I'm about to be a whole new birthday soon, right? Mm-hmm. So, this is like a 20.
Oh, what you doing for your birthday?
Oh, I don't even know because it always snows, so I don't really make the plans until the week of. I'll see.
You can't do nothing because you gotta.
I got my event. That's the weekend of, which it's kind of sucked that way, but I'm like, whatever. I'll just do this. Anyway. But putting fun back into life, like doing something for yourself instead of always doing stuff for other people. Because those who know me know I always look out for everybody, making sure everyone's having a good time. I always look out for people, all that.
2023 is about me.
It's about me. I'm being selfish for me.
Yes,
I have to. You have to take care of you in order to be able to take care of other people. And that's what I do for a living, so
Listen,
that's me. Is that good? Was that a good storyline?
Yo, listen. We gotta have fun in life. You gotta be around good people. One of the things I always stress to people is your surrounding play a great part on how you advance in your life.
Yeah.
Like again, brilliant minds think alike. Me and Charles came together. Charles started this network, brought me on as a partner. It's my job to help it grow. And everybody that I'm partner with, TJ, Fliz, Sandy.
Yep, shout out.
You know what I mean? We're making it grow. It's the CLBMG network. And plus also other things that you do on yourself, healing, self-reflecting. Remember we
Yep, I did a show on that. Yep. Self-caring, I called it.
Self-caring, yep,
we did that. Yes.
Think about it. We in our 40s. And y'all wouldn't have known that unless we told you.
Yeah, because we look good for our 40s right now. And I am going to celebrate it. I'm going to be the most conceited you ever know.
You want to be conceited?
This whole year. Yeah. I owe it to myself.
She's back.
I'm back.
That's what you got to love about.
It's a 20-year reunion for myself.
Yo, you know what? I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Because, right, I was in the gym and I was talking to this older guy. Well, he actually heard me having a conversation with somebody. We was talking about nurture and nature. So he's a surgeon. So he heard me. So he was saying, I like what he was talking about. So he said, the next time you see me, he said, you know what? You need a podcast. I said, I have one. So I put him on to it. Mm-hmm. So he gonna hear this episode. I'm definitely sending it to him. So he was like, why was that girl on there? He's like, what was she talking about? This is an older WP. Your word, WP. I gotta give you credit for that. And I was just saying, you need a woman perspective. I don't want to be biased. And plus, she has a lot to say. She got a lot to talk about. What you got to say to him about that?
What do I got to say?
Don't criticize him. But
all right, to be nice? Oh, okay.
What would you want to say if I didn't tell you to be nice?
All right, what am I going to say about him, about why am I here?
Yeah, tell him why you're here.
Why am I here? Because I'm just here. That's all that matters. I'm here because I have a different perspective and I don't have no judgment against nothing. So I look at things and take things as it is and what it is, because we all have a background, history, or whatever the case is. And I'm just going to look at it for facts, and that's it.
You sure they facts?
No, not all of them.
Okay. I was going to say.
Some of them could be like, not car facts, but I don't know.
Car facts?
Not car facts.
Not car facts? Some of them could not be car facts. That's funny.
Not car facts. That's not real facts. But anyway, so I'm just here to just have a good time, talk about what's going on, and bring that little fun vibe, because they would be bored without me. What? I used to come in here.
They ain't gonna be bored. Hold up. Have you seen my numbers?
No.
Okay. July 26th, you wasn't there. No, they was not bored.
Okay. I'll be back. I'll get some numbers back in.
Nah. Listen, we're gonna have fun, right? We don't get emotional. She's part of the reason why the name actually exists. You remember that phone conversation?
Yep, I do.
What happened?
I said, you know what? People are going to get emotional on the show. You should call it Don't Get Emotional.
You did not say all that. You just said people's going to get emotional. I was just like, Sandy.
Don't get emotional.
That's a good point.
See?
Don't get emotional.
My name. Don't get emotional. I'm an LLC at myself.
Why do you think people get emotional though over things? Like, this, you know what? I'm going to bring up this conversation, right?
Yes.
We was at work and okay, let me get this clear, people. I have dated women with children. I prefer not to. There's a difference between preference and type. Preference is what?
Preference is what you.
Your appearance
and what you cater to.
All right.
What you fall for.
So would a single mother fall on the preference or type?
Type.
Bravo. Now, here's the reason why I choose not to date single mothers. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a single mother, and I know Charles got something to say about this too. But here's the thing: let's play a game, tug of war.
Okay, I'm ready.
Everybody in this room plays the game, tug of war, right?
Yep.
Oh, you know what? We got an audience in here too. Y'all can say things if you want to say things. Like, they pick up. But in the game of tug of war, okay, you got the rope, I got rope. Now, if I'm sitting up here and I have an ideology of how I want to raise my family. Yeah. See, me as a man want to put my wife
in a
better position.
I heard this, yeah. My
children in the best position I could put them in. Better than what I was put in. Mm-hmm. Now, why am I arguing with someone bettering my responsibility?
I don't know.
But that's what happens. Yeah. Because again, alright, you have your ideology, like you have your child. And you have your way of how you want to raise your child, right?
Yeah.
His father has his way of how he want to raise that child also, right?
Yeah.
Now, if my ideology don't line up to those two ideologies, what happens? I'm the odd man out. Mm-hmm. Because that's not my what?
What?
Responsibility.
So,
what people got to understand when I'm sitting up there saying, it's like, yo, I'm not trying to tell you how to raise your child. I'm not telling you what to do. My job is to help you. Like, I had a female say to me, well, my teenage kid, I didn't want to put the age out there, don't need no father. Whoa!
Some people think that because they were raised without a father, so they think they can do it without a father.
But how important is it?
See, it's a very important rule, but people don't understand that rule because a lot of people right now never was brought up that way, so they don't see the other end of having that rule. So they can't, yearn for something they never had.
You can say so bad.
Dating someone with who already has some children or whatever like that is difficult, very difficult. I got 6 boys, and different mothers and stuff like that, and they got men and stuff like that. They got their own man or whatever like that. I want that dude to be a part of my child's life. You know what I mean? And to be a good dude and be a role model to my children. You know what I mean? What's it called? If I date someone, I would hope she has a child, a boy or girl, so I can be a role model in that person's life also. They don't have to. They don't gotta call me dad or nothing. But then, like, yo, that dude right there, I look up to him. I see that he go to work every day. He treat his children the way I want to be treated and stuff like that. He puts his children to learn. Like I said, I got boys, so I'm trying to raise men. You know what I mean? So they see me go to work. They see me come home. The woman that that I talk to, then I see me trying to treat her like a queen, and I would want them to do the same. I really blood. Like came out of my sperm is 5, but I took on because they had brothers. You know what I mean? Like my boys have a brother. That's my boy. He's 11. I've been there since he was 6 months. He don't call me dad. Call me Thomas. You know what I mean? But I'm like, bro, he has his own dad, and I would want his dad to be part of his life too. You know what I mean? I'm that type of person. You know what I mean? If you're not be that type of dad, excuse my language, you ain't shit. You know what I mean? Yo, bro, I ain't trying to tell you what to do, but he needs you. You know what I mean? I would be that type of person. You know what I mean? Because I have a stepdad who lived 45 minutes away. When I had a dad who was married to my mom who lived in town, and my other dad, that was my sister, drove 45 minutes just to see me home play 45 minutes of the game. That's my best friend. That's my hero. You feel what I'm saying? He didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? So I look up to him for taking me in. You know what I mean? I could have been a lost cause. I was running the streets. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't gotta call you dad. You know what I mean? They just gotta, yo, that dude right there, he's the man. And when you go, you wanna be to whoever. You wanna be like, yo, that guy right there, that lady right there, she told me something. You don't want to be, when you go and you in that casket, yo, F that person, dog. He was a piece. You know what I mean? You want to be like, you want to be high, you want to be up here, dog. That's just for me. That's how I look at things. Dating or not, kid. For right now, let's be real. What woman after 18 doesn't have a child? It's very rare.
No, it's rare.
Very rare. You know what I mean? But if she doesn't, and most dads are not there. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm the best dad. You know, I ain't gonna say that at all. You know, but I would want that girl to have a dad. You know what I mean? These are role model, man, because a lot of these kids don't have them.
Right. I'm glad you brought that point up. See, this is on the fly. This was no premeditated. See, that was the point I was gonna get to next. The point I was gonna get to next was this: when she said my teenage girl don't need a father. My thing was, I may not be her father, but I'm a father figure. Yeah. That's what I should be designed, and that's what was just explained properly. Yeah. And you could hear the emotion, and this was a male saying this, how important it was for someone that wasn't his father in his life to be there for what it is that he needed him there for. Yeah. That's why when I be sitting up there saying what I'm saying and stressing what I'm stressing, because I grew up without a father. Like, I never met him. I don't even know this man. I don't even know if he's alive or not. But again, as a 45-year-old, it still bothers me to this day, because I be thinking, how much different would my life be if he was there? Even though my mother had a husband in her life and he was a father figure, he did enough, but it wasn't enough to get me to the point of, because I remember when I was 33 years old and I told my people, was like, I don't feel successful. See, they like, you are successful though. You're the most successful person we know for your age. But I was like, I don't feel it.
Because you wasn't complete.
Exactly, because I was just like, I think, is it maybe if my father was there, would I have treated women different? Even though I didn't treat women wrong. I didn't treat women wrong. It's just that.
I can't say wrong, but I have.
Yo, let's speak. I want to hear this.
I know, I'm going to say that.
Nah, listen, okay. Again, tug of war.
That doesn't look right.
Nah, it's tug of war, because like, people got to see the image of that, because again, it's like, you got the mother and the child with the rope, and then you got me with the rope. So if I'm sitting up there like, yo, I want you to go this way, and she's like, nah, we going this way, because what's she gonna say? I did this. I did this before you got here, and I'm not gonna do this without you.
Yeah.
See,
a lot of mothers say that.
Duh. That's why I'm like, I gotta keep that in mind. I gotta put that in perspective.
I did this before you, I'm gonna do this after you.
Right.
Yes.
So again, when you saying something like that, you know what you're already saying? This ended before it began. So that's what I'm sitting up there saying. Whereas with me, again, when I get in a situation, when I meet somebody, I have a question, and we all always hear me say this: what's your 5-year plan? It doesn't matter if you have a kid or not. What's your 5-year plan? See, I want to hear you say you got something going on, because if you let me know you got something going on, then the question is, how can I compliment what you're doing? Yep. Because what am I doing? Am I just trying to get in your drawers? Be very blunt.
Some people could be doing that.
Again, and so if I'm sitting up there showing you that's not what I'm trying to do, then what else am I trying to do? What is my intentions? I'm showing you what my intentions is. So again, if you tell me, well, I got a son or I got a daughter or whatever, okay, what's your goals for your son or your daughter? How could I fit into the narrative of that? Because again, I didn't create that household, but I could be a father figure, a part of it.
Part of it, yeah.
That's what I'm sitting up there saying. So when I sit up there and say a person don't get emotional, it's like, you gotta put things in a proper perspective. It's like, I'm a man with no kids. I love kids. I used to be a counselor for kids. I've been a counselor since 1999 for kids. I talk to every color, creed, everything. Even when they was starting to become transgenders, I was talking to them before that happened. I was telling the people we need the right education to be able to help them.
Yeah.
This is before this even came about, and that's what we living at in this time and age. That's how much I was pre-advanced. What's the word I really was looking for? Not reactive, proactive. I was proactive before anything happened, because I was like, one of the first things that determined when I knew I'm doing kids a disservice when I first got my job was, there was a Spanish kid. This kid was like a street kid. And
what determined him to be a street kid?
No, he was a street kid.
Like what?
Like, he was into drugs and guns and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So
street kid.
Nah, you know why I'm saying he's a street kid? Because when you hear what happened, it's kind of like what the audience said. One day you might see his face, but he's anonymous right now. But what happened was, he did something, and that was the first time I really didn't like to discipline kids. I didn't really like to put them on restriction and all that.
Yeah.
So I would just say, yo, you going on restriction and you're not going home this weekend. And he charged me. He charged me. So, and he got put down quick. But then he started crying, so I just want to see my mother. That's, you know, this is when I realized, people, this is when I realized something. I called him a street kid because of the activities he was involved in. Here's the problem. He was still a kid. Still wanted to be loved. That's what changed my whole perception of how to deal with these kids, where it's like we were just looking at them as being a number, looking at them as being bad because of the activities they did, but we don't even know the activities, how they got involved with the activities, which was so explained, eloquent by your mans over here. Now, I was just like, you know what? For me to really help these kids, that's why I ended up getting into ministry. I was like, I have to go meet the parents, the grandparents, because I was just like, all I'm doing is taking them out of this environment and putting them right back into the environment that got them here in the first place. So how am I really helping them if they don't even know how to help their environment themselves?
Stepping levels and stuff.
So again, going back to the female, now she got emotional because she was just like, she said what she had to say, she walked off. Then she came back and she said, I would never date you anyway.
I bet she did.
Well, did I ever ask you out? He's like, I didn't approach you, shorty. Like, and that's why I'm sitting up there saying, what you getting? I have a right to express how I feel, how I look at something. Like, I put myself in this position because I know how it feels to be a kid when I was his father. Why would I want other kids to feel the same way I feel? That's why I was like, I'm not going to do it.
Some people can do it, but then there's people out here that went through that and they still doing the same thing that their dad did to their mom. They're out here doing the same stuff. It's crazy.
But
it's a different world.
Because you know what it is?
It's a non-caring world.
No, it's not as non-caring. You know what it is? What did I tell you? It was fun
It
till it got real.
Yeah, it was fun till it got real.
It was fun till it got real. What up?
A question.
Yeah.
So if you date a female, because she look good, right? Because where her mind is, right? Everything that you want is her, right?
Right.
But would you date a female with no kids, with kids, right? No. You want it?
Well, let me explain the type of women I date.
Okay.
Like I said, the first thing I do is I ask, what's your 5-year plan? I so happen to luck up, rewind now, I don't believe in luck. I've been blessed to meet women that didn't have kids, or if they did have a kid, they was in a great mind. The word is receptive. They was receptive to receive what it is that I was projecting to them.
Right.
So like the thing about it is, like, and I'll tell this story. When I was coming up, I had a best friend. She didn't have kids. Then she had a kid, and I was watching her become the single mom and everything. She told me she had a certain amount of money saved up. But before she got to that point, she used to always ask me, should I take this job? Should I take this job? Now, why did she ask me these things? Do you think she was questioning herself? I just thought about this today. So I was just like, you know what? Here's a question. The job is giving you more money. Why wouldn't you want to take it? So she took the job. Now, when she told me how much money she had saved up, I was just like, wow. And now, I think this is a single mother with this much, and I was a man with no kids. Here come Charles with sweets, messing up the diet.
I am on. Oh my God.
See, they always coming with that nasty stuff.
I'm just trying to be friendly.
Hey, he's messing up the flow. But I know what I'm doing. But anyway, when she told me how much she had saved up, I was just like, yo, I'm doing something wrong. Now, pause right there, because when I was with a female who didn't have a kid, and when she found out how much I had saved up, which was nowhere near that person, she was like, right, you got a lot saved up. But I was like, if you wanted a house, you had a home. It was my job to provide the home. So the thing with me is, I want to know how receptive you are. Because when that lady told me how much money she had saved up, she didn't tell me how to do it. She just told me, and it motivated me to go do it. So it made me better myself. Just like when I told the other girl that if you wanted a house, you had a home and everything. She got better on her own, even though she was in a better position than me. She got better. Now let's fast forward. All of them own their own home. All of them are in a good financial situation, and they just didn't let anybody into their lives because they felt like, if you can't get me to the next step,
self-caring themselves.
If you can't get me to the next step, because even though they, like, one of them took a chance with me because she was in a great position, like she was a professional, And I wasn't as professional. Like, I was living home with my mother. I was still trying to find myself, but being with her made me motivate to want to level up with her because she was already leveled up. And so that's what I'm saying. It's about when you get involved with people.
Was she leveling down because of you?
In a sense, she could have been.
Right. But right. Mm-hmm. Just because you're down at the moment, that doesn't mean you're not the one.
But remember, listen to what I'm saying.
Right. I'm listening. I'm just saying.
She's leveled up.
Right.
I leveled up because of her.
Right.
But guess what? I could have also did. Brought her down.
Right.
Because again, say goodbye, gave her a child, I bounced.
Right.
That's lowering her down because again, she wasn't in that situation. Right. I now put her in that situation. Right. Now, would she have ever expected me to do that? No, exactly. So she's taking a chance. Right. But she took a chance believing and seeing, like you know what she said to me? She said, you know, and this is when I was like 25. Yeah, right when I met you. She said, what I love about you and you're intimidating, this was a person with a master's degree, was a school teacher. She said, I'm intimidated by you. Why? She said, everything you say you're going to do, you do it. See, that's the thing. It's about how you, like with me and Charles' example. I look up to Charles because the things that this man have accomplished in his life, I can tell y'all on camera. This is a man who came here, family. He'll tell you himself, he didn't have nothing that he had. But he linked up with the right woman, because he always tells me this, when you link up with the right person, they gonna help you level up, even if you're down. So he linked up with the right person, and what he did, people wouldn't open a lane for him, so he created his own lane. I'm gonna start calling it the Charles instead of HOV, Charlie lane. But if he opened his own lane, created, he became a promoter. He opened the doors for me as an artist. See, who would have thought from that time when he was being a promoter, getting his feet wet, establishing himself, that he bringing me on, that we would even have a network together. See, we didn't see that, but we helping each other level up, because then what happened? He was just say, yo, I want to do a label. We did an album and everything. Even when I broke off, I was like, I'm out of here. I quit with no whatever. He still did what he was supposed to do. Now he's a business owner. Now he could have easily said, nah, I watched the way you maneuver. You left me cold.
You're out of here.
He could have said that, but you know what it is? He knew my character. Did I ever harm him? Ever harm his family? Did I put him in any position where I hurt his brand, his cause? Take that same principle and apply it to relationships. Because when you meet somebody, are you hurting their brand? See, if you take a woman who has no children, you give her a child, you leave her, you just turned her into a single mother.
Yeah, but that's because that is, you didn't. Some people have an intention of really not caring. That's what I'm saying. When you a dude, right? For me, right? You go into a relationship trying to build with someone.
Yep.
Right? Me, I know for 100%, not all relationships are 100% going to work. So when you leave, would you want it to be a bad one or on a good note? I want to leave on a good note. You know what I'm saying? So I know for me, myself, right? I like to make best friends and move forward, right? So off rip, I'm gonna introduce you to my kids. You know what I'm saying? My kids are gonna meet your kids. See how they interact. See how you interact with mine. See how I interact with yours, right? Because why wait 6, a year to meet? Then it don't work at all. You can see me how I function in front of my children, how I discipline my children in front of you. And if you like that, you like that. If not, then we can move on. That's just for me.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You ever heard the saying, hurt people hurt people?
Right.
Do you know what that means?
When you hurt others.
Right. Now, here's what I'm saying when I ask the question. See, that question is more than just finding out what you're trying to do financially. It's also to know where you are mentally. See, if you're hurt, guess what I have to do as a man? I can't speak for other men. I gotta speak for myself. Let me heal this person. I can tell you what I did. Let me tell you what I did for people.
Everybody.
Huh?
You can't heal everybody.
That's why I was gonna tell you the story. See, I always have a story to back up what I'm saying. I do, because I
both got stories.
But what I'm saying is this.
Right.
If you're gonna be, a piece of crap, you know what I mean? Really, you shouldn't be you should be upfront with these women. You know what I mean? If you really have the intentions of trying to move forward with someone, you should really let them know. Like, yo, you know, this is what I'm trying to do, blah, blah, blah. If you're just there for the time, yo, I'm just here for the time. Right?
But hold up, see, you know what, when you speaking, that's why one of the things, and I tell Sandy this all the time, when you speaking, you can't speak for everyone, we can only speak for ourselves. See, that's why I tell the story from my perspective, because I don't even know how you approach women. See, I don't know your situation.
No.
You know your situation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. So when I speak on my situation, I speak from a perspective of how I approach. Now, I tell this story because here's the thing. There was a girl, I met her. How I met her was through her mother. I used to help her mother. I was counseling her mom through marriage and stuff. Now her mom was just like, chill. Her mom was like, nah, I'm not that. That ain't me. I'm not the one. So her mom was like, wow, I believe in this young man so much because she was older than me. That she was getting her friends that was married, that was having problems. Yo, you gotta meet this kid. And so I was helping them as well. Like she had people come from Miami and other places. Now she had a daughter. Now her daughter. Go ahead. What you want to say?
I said you probably helping in more ways.
Yeah,
than one,
whatever,
you know?
Sandy. I know you want to be funny, man. That type of party. I know it happened. Again, I'm gonna say this again. I can't speak for everyone else. I'm speaking for me.
Yes.
I don't have stories like that.
Okay.
I don't have those stories, so I don't care. I don't run trains on chicks. I don't do none of that stuff.
Yo, question. You able to curse?
Oh.
You trying to keep it down? Trying to keep it down?
Well, my audience is they like clean cut and everything. But I don't. If you hear me cursing, that means somebody's about to get beat up. That's why I don't curse.
What's your definition on the W-H-O-R-E?
W-H-O-R. Alright, I'm gonna pivot to that.
What's your definition?
I'm gonna pivot to that. I'm gonna use this. So now, again.
Keep going. Yeah, your story.
So now, the mom. If your mom was trying to say this is a great guy, right there should have been enough to let you know, like, I should be with this guy.
Right.
Now, check this out. I'm making a short version, but I'm gonna give full details. So now, she came on my house for some reason. I don't know why she came on my house or whatever. She was wearing this would have been the best looking female I have ever laid with. That's how fine she was. So she came on my house, she sat on my lap, like, I don't want to use that example, Sandy, because she just came like this. I had to say, yo, shorty, you said like, yeah. Like we can't have that. I was like, we pray together and everything. Now this is what I told her. I said, listen, this is what we could do. You could come live with me. You pay your parents rent, even though they would never charge them rent for her stuff. I'm gonna help you build up your credit. I'm gonna help you save money. Even if you want to leave, adios. At least you have money and your credit up.
Nice.
Guess what? She chose to get with somebody who left her a single mother, messed up her credit. That had nothing to do with me. I gave her the offer. She didn't want it. Now to go to your well, he said the word whore. Ain't nothing wrong with the word whore. Now to go, okay, let me tell you what my stepfather told me, and then I can speak on that. He taught me something about.
So is she wrong? Is she wrong for what she did?
It's not a right or wrong answer. It's your answer, the answer you want to live with.
Right.
See, she has to live with that answer.
Right.
Now, do you think she thinks about me? We don't know. The only way I would know is if she called me and told me, like, I wish I would have took that offer.
Right.
But then guess what you call that? Backtracking. You see what I mean? But again, you could have accepted it because I don't want to use the word consequences because it's like not everything is bad. You know what I mean? So I'll say that was her results.
Yeah, but but a lot of these females they picking their type instead of you know what I'm saying, the right one.
But
you know what I'm saying? So like they type of the dude, you know what I'm saying, that's chilling around with the gun all the time, you know what I'm saying? You know, over here, over there, you know, yo baby, I gotta make a trap real quick, you know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the question though.
You know what I'm saying? Or do you want the dude who's actually be like, yo, like actually feeling you? Nah, a lot of these women dodge the dude who's actually out here like, yo, I'm trying to be Mr. Square.
But hold up though, see, this is what I keep trying to say.
That's your fault.
It's a perspective and a perception, because you know why? I'm not around women that think like that. So I can't, to speak on it, I don't know why, if you're in that type of environment, I don't know how you was raised up. But see, the women I was around, they educated. So you know what they was always about? Leveling up. They always would talk about, I'm trying to get a house. They was always talking about, I'm going to be this in 5 years. Right. Like my shorty was like, yo, I'm buying a car. She had a 5-year plan. She said, I'm paying this off in 2. Mm-hmm. So they didn't have time to be around dudes that was like that. They was about getting their work and whatever. So
I had a couple times with that though.
So like I said again, see, which goes into that whole. Listen, you could throw out so many different terms. You can put out a bunch of terms, but this is what we have to understand and put in proper perspective.
Yes.
1, we are a product of our environment. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. I've seen some wild things. Put it this way, if abandoned buildings could talk, the stories they would tell. If rooftops could talk, the story they would tell. But again, I was one of them kids that was like, nah, I want better for myself, and I want better for mine. How am I in this situation? Now, as a kid, I wasn't responsible for that. My parents was responsible for me being in that situation. Now, as I was coming up, now I'm a man. I have no excuse on why I'm still in that situation. Now it's on me because, again, I now have the mindset to say, yo, what kind of job should I get to get the right information, the right money, to be able to level up. See, again, when I started hanging with WPs, that's when I actually leveled up. Because you know what they was about? Marriage. Businesses. Huh?
Do you know what WPs are? Yeah. Oh yeah, let them know.
So again, see, I just did a post on Facebook talking about my most successful jobs. WPs helped me get there. They taught me about finances, saving money in the bank, like big long-term money, investing. Like most of my friends own property or own businesses. Matter of fact, I'm a job that my friends own. So that's what I'm sitting up there saying. You are a product of your environment. So let's look at it like this. If you came from the hood, you remain in the hood, guess what's going to happen? You're hood. But if you sit up there and say, you know what, I don't want to be hood no more because I came from the hood. I lived on the east side, I lived on the south side, and I see what was going on. My friends were selling drugs. I didn't want to do that. I went and got a job. They used to come flashing knots of money, laughing at me. And I said it in my song. I'm pushing cabbages and they laughing. But again, I was like, in my mind, I'm going to level up. This was when I was 16. I was like, I'm going to be in a better position. How I'm going to get there, I don't know. But guess what I had to do? Equip myself, get the right information to get what I needed to get.
I guess that's easier said than done because a lot of these people out here with signs still chilling on the corner.
But again, listen to what you're saying. That's their choice. Yeah. I'm not going to go to the corner and tell a person that's on the corner, yo, get off the corner. They already know they don't want to be on the corner. But you know what that is? They choose to be on the corner. You want to know what happened? When you go home and go to sleep, you have a choice to say, when I wake up, I'm changing this narrative or I'm going to create the same narrative. Right. See, everything, this is why I keep saying to people when they ask me how you feeling, how you doing, I'm alive. You know why? Every time I wake up, I'm alive. I have the opportunity to do whatever I want to do. Now, you want to know what type of person I was? When I was broke, I'll tell you how I got all my jobs. First job, I was watching this dude go to Domino Pizza. I was like, yo, are they hiring? He said, come with me. I went with him, filled out the application, got the job. Making $5.15 an hour.
I remember those days.
$5.15.
My first check.
You want to know how tired I was? This is when they had the landline. The phone used to be, I used to get Domino Pizza at my home. But what did I start doing? Saving. There was another job. When I got released from a job, I'm at the gym. I was playing ball, getting my shots up. There was a guy, he's here, and I was like, oh, what you do? He said, oh, I work at a group home. Where they at? Gave me the address. The next day, I'm dressed there. Got the job. See, I could have woke up, went to the corner, woke up, hit the bottle, the buck that bought the bottle could have struck the alarm. I could have did that. What did I choose to do? Something to better myself. I did not make an excuse. I was like, yo, you know what? I want to better myself. So every time I did that, not realizing, it was putting me in a better situation to better myself. So again, you could meet somebody. If somebody's saying to you, hey, young man, like many people said to me, strangers, yo, young man, you shouldn't do this or what you're doing. I didn't say, get out of my face, old man, you crack. I was just say, Let me hear what this man got to say. And if it works for me, it works for me. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I took it and I applied it. I said, let me see if it's going to work. And most likely it worked. See, now here's the thing. Let's look at it like this. We're going to end this segment. Get in part 2. When someone comes to you and they have a plan, just because you've never seen the plan in action, you can't tell that person it doesn't work. And a lot of people do that.
Or it's not happening. You're not doing it.
So my thing is, okay, show me how to play my part in it. And let me see where it can get me. Because again, I don't know the future. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. Charles came to us with an idea. Yo, you want to do a podcast? That idea, you know how that came about? I shot a video by myself. He's like, and he put in the comments, this guy never did this before. What did I tell you earlier? I left him high and dry, correct? Guess what I showed him with that video? He's serious. Now he's in a better place I can work. Dante! Good! Pause! See y'all in part 2!
Oh, God.
Trav, you did your thing on this. Oh, now you want to talk. Honestly, I think we're past the talking. For real. Yeah. Just need you to listen. Put me in position where my heart's missing. Lost the feeling, find hatred and healing. Think we get there again? I don't think so. Love's in the rear view, plus the years spent with you. Wish I could undo all I did with you. Done for you, now I'm done with you. Used to be lovable, now it's personal. Can't stand your voice, what you mean, can we talk? In my mind, see you laying down in some chalk. Tired of the cursing, speaking in third person. Same thing we playing over like we rehearsing. Here's final curtain, finally changed my demeanor. No more back and forth, Venus and Serena. Stay within the lines, everything is fair play. After I say this would be on my way. That's right.
Keep this mellow with no ghetto-ness. I hate that term, but you know what I meant. I understand that these days everyone's a bad bitch, even men, but I'm old-fashioned like a classic. You know I hate ratchets, so I don't know why you acting. I love the fact you get your own bread and have passion. And no, I'm not looking for a woman to be passive. Hold on. Don't interrupt me, let me finish. If I speak calm, please don't take it as a weakness. I'll start all over from the beginning. We first met each other, we was winning. Slowly, you let your girl's opinion creep in and creep up. How more than us speak on us, but they don't make me nothing. That just makes me nuts. And what's worse, I still got crazy love, but your crazy is driving me up to. Queens can be sexy without acting like the boss. Can we talk and not holler? If you hear me, holler back though. Maturity, secure lingo, we need that flow. Can we talk? I need a shorty, not an asshole. Need hugs from my chick while I'm grabbing on that ass though. Can we talk? I don't need a maid, I just need respect and femininity for happy days. So can we talk?